Keyword research is the foundation of every successful Google Ads campaign. Get it right and you'll reach customers who are ready to buy and create a cash printing machine. Get it wrong and you'll waste money on clicks that never actually convert. I'm Liam, founder of Vulcan, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the complete Google Ads keyword research process for 2026, including a complete walkthrough of the Google Keyword Planner tool. I'll show you how to filter, refine, and organize your keywords for maximum performance. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, repeatable process for finding profitable keywords in any business type or industry. All right, let's dive in. So I am already in Google Ads Keyword Planner, and you can access the Keyword Planner by clicking Tools and under Planning, going to Keyword Planner. I'm going to click on Discover New Keywords. And I'm going to set my location here to the United States. And for the purposes of this demonstration, I am going to assume that I am an e-commerce business and I sell running bags. So running vests or hydration vests. I'll show a couple of examples of what I mean on the screen right now. And I also sell running belts that I can store maybe my keys or my phone in when I go for a run. So when I click on Discover New Keywords, I'll be met with the option to either start with keywords or start with a website. So that would be my website, for example. But in this instance, I'm going to start with keywords. I'm going to say running bag, running vest, running bag with hydration, and I'll say running belt. And I'll type in some of these really important core product terms and click on Get Results. And Google is going to give me information on some of the keywords that I provided. So running bag, running vest, running belt. And it's also going to give me some additional keyword ideas. So we can see Salomon running vest, Salomon are a brand, running backpack, running vest women, weighted vest for running, flip belt, more Salomon, and so on and so forth. And it's actually given me 3,830 keyword ideas. Now, that is a lot of keyword ideas. So what we're going to do is refine that. But first of all, I want to show you what information Google give us in relation to some of these keywords. So the first thing that it does is give us an average monthly searches. So it gives us a range. So running bag is 1 to 10,000 monthly searches, running vest 10 to 100,000 monthly searches, running belt is the same, and so on and so forth. It gives us a 3-month change. So are these terms increasing in popularity, and if so, by what percentage in the last 3 months relative to the 3 months prior? Year on year change then, are these terms getting more popular with each year that passes? Competition is next. So what level of competition can we expect to see on these particular keywords? So you can see they are all marked as quite high. Ad impression share then, if we were already running some of these keywords, Google would give us an indication of what percentage of the time we were actually serving for these keywords relative to how often we actually could. And then the top page bid, both the low and the high range, how much can we expect to be paying to serve at the top of the page? Generally, I kind of estimate somewhere in the middle to be a reasonable starting point for this. So in this instance, running vest, let's say, is top of page bid, low range is 45 cents, top of page bid, high range is $1.87. So about $1 is $1.10 is sitting in the middle between those two. So that would be maybe a reasonable place to start. And then under account status here, sometimes if we are running these keywords, it would just give us the indication that it is in account. So we know we're targeting them already. So we can sort these by the number of monthly searches, so we can get the highest volume queries. We can also search for the most expensive terms by sorting by the page bid. But what I want to do next is I want to refine these keywords because there are just far too many of them, and I want to go looking for the best keywords possible. So I'll go up here to refine keywords and click on this, and it will give me this drop down menu of lots of different options. And the first is going to be brand or non-brand. So for the campaign, let's say that I'm looking to create here, I'm creating terms around my core products. So running bag, running vest, running belt. This is not a campaign that I want to either target my own brand name. It's not a branded campaign, but it's also a campaign that I'm not looking to target competitors. It's not a dedicated competitor campaign. So what I can do here is I can actually exclude all brands. So Salomon, Nike, Camelback, Nathan Sports, Adidas, Lululemon, etc. Then next up is I can get rid of belt. Now, flip belt, spy belt, I don't actually know what those mean. So for now, I'm going to keep them in. Are they brand names or are they type of running belts? So I'll have to look that up. Retailers is next. So Amazon, Rebel Sport, so I don't want to include those. So just be careful with other brands because sometimes it can catch terms that are actually technically not branded terms. So I can see here, for example, a camel bag would be another name for a hydration vest. So I might want to include that. And everything else there looks like a brand name, so I can keep those excluded. So I have gone there from 3,830 down to 1,900. So I've cut the list essentially in half. Now I can go on to accessories. So accessories, belt, bag, shoes. So what I'll do now is I'll definitely look to exclude shoes because I'm not actually targeting shoes. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go over to my Google Sheet here, which is just going to be a manual sheet that I'm using to basically sort some of my keyword ideas once I actually figure out what it is I want to target. But not only am I looking at positive keywords I want to target, now is a very good time to be considering negative keywords based on what you're seeing in the keyword research. So a negative keyword that I would just drop in here right away are shoes, because I never want to serve if someone's looking for shoes because I don't sell shoes. So I can just pop that in there because I saw it while I was doing the research over here. So I'm going to exclude shoes. Gender, well, my bags are suitable for both women and men, so I'll keep that as it is. Magazine is next. So Women's Running must be the name of a magazine, but it actually is the name of the general term that we're looking to target. So I'm not going to exclude that. Same with men's running. And then joint, basically where on the body will this bag or belt be worn? I'm not going to exclude anything by that. Then others, phone, running free, mini carrier day, flashlight. I'm not going to exclude any of these for now. So I'm going to look up spy belt, and spy belt is a type of running belt. So they are a brand. So I'll actually look to exclude those. So if I go back up here, I can exclude spy belt, and also I'll double check. Flip belt is the same. So flip belt is another brand as well. So I can also go back and exclude flip belt. So they're both excluded. So I'm now down to 1,775. So I still have a lot of keywords and that's fine. So next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to sort by average monthly searches. So running vest and running belt. Let's go back to my Google Sheets here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create basically ad groups here. So my ad groups are going to be, I'm going to say running vest, generic, then running belt, generic. Then I might say something about women's and then men's. They're the ones that are kind of instinctively coming to mind. I want to split them up into different themes. So my ad groups for now are looking like that. Running vest, generic, running belt, generic, women's and men's. So running belt and running vest, well, they can first go in here. So running vest, and then running belt. So they're going to be the first keywords that I'm going to look to target. The reason being is they're really high search volume. They are core product terms that I want to be looking at. So I'll keep those in. Running vest women is the next one. So let's pop that in here. Weighted vest is next. So a weighted vest is completely different to the running vest that I'm selling. So I'll go back here and I will add weighted as a negative keyword because I don't want to serve for that. Ladies running vest, runner's vest, women's running vest for runners, running with a belt. Running with a belt is an unusual, it's more of a discovery phrase, I would say. I would rather find running belt directly as a phrase and target that. Weighted vest and running is there as well. So ladies running vest I could include here. We need to be careful that you don't have essentially a lot of the same terms with the same meaning. These are very similar terms. So generally speaking, depending on the match type, if you targeted running vest women, then ladies running vest would also be caught by this keyword. So there isn't, a great necessity to have both of these in or have multiple variations of the same term. You can do running vest for men. And next up, I'm seeing running hydration vest, running belt for phone, best running belt. So I'd say maybe best running belt, and I quite like hydration because let's say we have different pockets in our bag to carry water bottles or to carry a camel pack, then this would be a really good ad group to target. So running vests for hydration would be a term we'd have in here. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ad groups we're now targeting, but they're all quite distinct. I would say this is a generic running vest. This is a generic running belt. This is more kind of female focused terms. This will be men's focused terms. This will be more in relation to hydration. And the one more that caught my eye earlier is kind of for phone. So specific to holding a phone. And you can see running belt per phone here. So that can be dropped in over this part. Best running belt, best running vest, trail running vest, maybe running belt with water bottles. So if we sold something with a water bottle, we could include that here. We could always look to separate these further into maybe running vests for hydration or running vests that include a water bottle. Maybe they would be two separate ad groups, but for now I think it's reasonable to keep them together. Reflective running vests. So let's say we don't have a reflective element to our vest. Let's go ahead and exclude that. So using a negative keyword. Running water vest, hydration belt. So maybe we could include that back in our hydration ad group. We could also maybe look to include it here, but I think it's more suitable for hydration belt. So best running belt, running belt. So what I could actually do if I wanted to kind of focus more on finding terms for, let's say, running belt, what I can actually do is set up a filter here. And the filter is keyword contains running belt. And we can even keep it on text match is fine. So it's kind of close. So running belt is very high. Running with a belt, we said we might leave that. Best running belt with water bottle, running belt bag, running hydration belt, running light belt, lightweight running belt. Let's say that we feel like we have a lightweight belt, then we could include that there maybe and include how it's lightweight in our ad copy. Marathon running belt, I think that could be reasonable to include there as well. And you can see what we're looking to do here. We're looking to add enough terms. Generally, I try to add between kind of 4 and 10 keywords. I don't like to go too much above that, because if you try to pick maybe 10 different keywords here and include them all in a single ad group, quite often then you have a picture that the terms are not that closely related. So a lightweight running belt versus a marathon running belt, for example, they're kind of two different terms. One of them we need to lean more heavily into the fact that it's suitable for longer distances around marathons, and the other is to do with it being kind of more lightweight. And our ad copy will have to reflect both of those value propositions. Now, if we have 10 different keywords here in this ad group and each keyword is the same degree of difference as, let's say, lightweight and marathon belts are, then it can become quite difficult to create some ad copy that actually speaks to all those individual keywords or those search queries, in which instance then it's often better to break them up into their own ad groups. So same thing here. If we wanted to, instead of look at running belt, if we wanted to focus on, say, women's, or we want to focus on ladies or women, just to see if any term, we can even go semantic match. So that's to do with kind of the meaning. Running vest, women, ladies, running vest, women's vest, running, best running vest for women. And then we're down into some things like athletic running vest, black running vest. So what we might do, there's white running vest as well. Let's say all our vests are black. We could always go and maybe just add white as a negative keyword there again. The idea here is that basically you're going through this list. You're making sure that your keywords that you're choosing have a relatively high degree of monthly searches. So if you keep scrolling down here and you see 10 to 100, what it's going to be is that these search queries or these keywords have very low search volume. And if these are the only keywords that you're targeting, you're going to find it very difficult to actually scale a campaign. Now, I'm not saying that these keywords down here don't have their place, but quite often you're better off looking for more general keyword terms. And by virtue of targeting those more general keyword terms, you will also pick up a lot of these more longer tail keywords, depending, of course, on the match type you're using. Okay, so let's say I want to save some of my keywords here. So I'm going to focus on the running belt. Let's say I want to look at forecasts for my running belt ad group. This is just one ad group. I would generally look to do the same level of research for these different ad groups, for men's, for example, or for the phone specific ad group, or the running vest, the generic one. But what I'll do for now is just take these terms, these running belt terms, and I'll go back up to saved keywords and I'll drop them in here, and I will go ahead and name my ad group as running belt. Save that. Now let's go and let's rename this plan to running belt, and let's go to forecast. So inside in forecast, what I can do is I can get some bit of an estimation of future performance of these keywords. Now, I would take this with a pinch of salt, but nonetheless, it is useful to have a look at. We go over here, we can add some conversion metrics. Let's say our conversion rate is 4%, and let's say our value per conversion is $60. So we'll give Google a little more information. Google thinks our average CPA is going to be $15, and our average conversion value is going to be $3,700. We're going to get a ROAS of 4, and we are spending $930, CTR of 8.1%, and an average CPC of 60 cents. But you can see if we wanted to be more aggressive and say we wanted to spend $3,000 per month, that would be almost $100 in daily budget, then we would get a conversion value of 4.9k, and our ROAS goes down to 1.6. Now we can mess around here with different bid types, so we can say manual CPC, and we can set the bid type ourselves to, let's say we don't want to pay any more than $1.50 for a click. Well, now Google's saying that we're going to spend $1,200 and get 4,000 back at a ROAS of 3.4. We can also get more information on things like percentage of computers versus mobile. You can see mobile is much greater in terms of absolute volume across cost and conversion metrics. So something like that would be useful. You need to make sure then that you're optimized for mobile. You can also look at things like top regions, top states. We're over here in the US, so top states would probably be our best bet. If we wanted to look at California, Texas, New York, Florida, these are obviously the big states. They tend to come up most often, but it is just useful information to have. And you can see your forecasts over the next year when you can expect peak season. So here we have Black Friday kind of coming up for 2026. So you can see that peak, but you can get an indication to say, okay, we might expect to see a lull in January and February, which is interesting. I wonder how accurate that is. Do a lot of people take up running in January and then obviously buy the gear? But that's what Google is telling us from historical data. It's what it's forecasting for the year to come. And obviously then it peaks in November and the holiday season as well. As I said, I wouldn't bank on this as absolute fact. It is just a forecast, but it is a good idea to get an indication of what you can expect. That would be from one particular ad group. Just as I said, these running bell terms, we could have a look at different terms across women's vests. We could have a look at men's specific, phone specific, hydration specific as well. But the key thing here is that what we're looking for in our keyword planner is keyword ideas, so positive keywords, but we're also looking to exclude some keywords if they're not relevant to what we're doing, because we know before we set up a campaign, the more negative keywords we can add, the less wasted clicks there'll be. So the less budget we'll waste on people who basically are searching for things that we don't sell. And ultimately those people won't convert. And there you have it. The complete Google Ads keyword research process for 2026. You now know how to identify high intent keywords, use the keyword planner tool effectively, and organize your keywords into themed ad groups for better campaign performance. Here's the thing though. Keyword research is only one piece of the puzzle. If you're currently running Google Ads and you're not seeing the results you want, there might be other issues in your account that are holding you back. And that's why I'm offering a free account audit. If you're an e-commerce brand generating at least $50,000 per month in revenue, and you'd like me to take a deep dive into your Google Ads account, identify what's working and what's not, and show you specific improvements that you can make to improve your ROI, then why not book a call with me today? The link is in the description below. I'll walk you through your account in real time, show you the opportunities that I'm seeing, and give you actionable recommendations that you can walk away with, whether we work together or not. If you found this video useful, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll be putting out lots more Google Ads tutorials just like this to help you improve your Google Ads performance for your business. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.